Title: The Girl Who Heard Thoughts. Emily Carter was an ordinary 12-year-old girl, at least that's what everyone thought. She lived in a quiet town, attended a normal school, and had regular friends. But Emily had a secret, one she had never dared to share with anyone. She could read minds. The first time it happened, she was sitting in class, staring at the board, half listening to her teacher's lecture on fractions. Suddenly, she heard a voice, but it wasn't coming from anyone's mouth. "Ugh, I hope she doesn't call on me. I didn't study at all." Emily's eyes darted around the room, but nobody had spoken. Then she looked at her friend, Lily, who was nervously chewing on the end of her pencil. That's when she realized she had just heard Lily's thoughts. At first, Emily thought she was imagining things, but soon it happened again. She could hear the thoughts of her classmates, her teachers, even strangers in the hallway. Some thoughts were amusing, some were boring, but some were dark. And that scared her. She tried to ignore it, but the voices wouldn't stop. They poured into her mind like whispers in the wind, making it hard to focus. It wasn't until she started learning how to control it that things changed. By concentrating, she could choose whose thoughts to listen to and when to tune out. But the more she practiced, the more she realized that her ability wasn't just a gift, it was a responsibility. One day, Emily overheard something that made her heart pound. While walking past the principal's office, she picked up the thoughts of a boy named Jason, the school bully. "I'm going to make sure Sam never comes back to school again. He'll regret what he did." Sam was a quiet kid who always sat in the back of the class. Emily had seen Jason pick on him before, but this time it sounded serious. She knew she couldn't ignore it. That night, she thought about what to do. If she told a teacher, how would she explain how she knew? If she confronted Jason, would he stop? The weight of her ability pressed heavily on her shoulders. The next morning, she found Sam sitting alone in the cafeteria. Taking a deep breath, she sat down across from him. "Hey Sam, are you okay?" she asked. He looked up, surprised. Yeah. Why?" Emily hesitated. She couldn't just blurt out what she knew. "I heard that Jason might be planning something. I think you should be careful." Sam frowned. "How do you know?" She bit her lip. "I just have a feeling." Sam looked skeptical, but nodded. "Thanks, I guess." Later that day, Emily kept an eye on Jason. When she saw him sneaking toward Sam's locker, she quickly read his thoughts. "Now's my chance. I'll ruin all his books, so he'll be too embarrassed to come back." Emily didn't think twice. She marched straight to a teacher. "Ms. Harper, I think Jason is about to do something bad to Sam's locker." The teacher frowned but followed her. Just as Jason was about to dump a bottle of ink into Sam's backpack, Ms. Harper caught him. "Jason, what do you think you're doing?" Jason stammered, dropping the ink. I was just nothing." He was sent to the principal's office and Sam's belongings were saved. But more importantly, Jason never bothered Sam again. Emily had used her ability for good, and for the first time, she felt proud of her secret. As time passed, Emily became more comfortable with her power. She helped friends with their worries, avoided unnecessary arguments, and even surprised her parents by knowing exactly what they wanted for their birthdays. But she also knew one thing for sure. Having the ability to read minds wasn't just about knowing people's secrets. It was about understanding them, helping them, and sometimes protecting them. And so Emily Carter, the girl who could read minds, walked through the halls of her school. Not as a superhero, not as a freak, but as a silent guardian of the thoughts that surrounded her every day.